Yo, what's up? I'm Coach Rich Thurman, also known as Coach RT3. And if you have a shoulder, you're gonna wanna stick around for this because we're gonna talk about shoulder CARs and why they're important for your shoulder health. Before we get started, make sure you smash the subscribe button so you never miss a post from me again. All right, so look, unless you have a disability or something like that, you're gonna use your shoulder for a variety of things in your life. Whether you're throwing a ball, playing golf, crawling around the floor, or doing some bench press. But the issue with those movements is that they're very limited in the ranges that we utilize. And so we don't give the shoulder an opportunity to move through all of its ranges of motion, and therefore we don't give our nervous system an understanding or a map of what the shoulder can experience in all of these different spaces. Shoulder CARs give you an opportunity to take your joint through its fullest range of motion and experience all the stuff that's involved with moving the shoulder through those ranges of motion. So let me show you how to get started on a shoulder CAR. We're gonna stand up nice and tall. I'm gonna start an external rotation of the humerus bone here. So that's gonna have my palm facing forward towards the camera. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna begin to adduct, which means pinching across here, coming across my midline. Now, as I'm pinching across, I'm not trying to rotate through my torso, I'm just trying to squeeze out as much shoulder stuff as I have. From here, I'm gonna continue to move into flexion. And as I move into flexion, my arm begins to rotate out of that external rotation. Now that I'm in overhead flexion, being careful not to extend through the back to reach for that, I've hit my first roadblock. From here, I'm gonna imagine I have an X on my bicep facing my ear. I'm gonna take that X and I'm gonna begin to turn it away from my ear. Okay, so moving into internal rotation. As I move into internal rotation, I'm also moving back into extension. So as you see from the side, I'm moving into extension and into internal rotation. I'm gonna keep moving into internal rotation until the back of my palm is next to the pocket. From here, I'm gonna begin to extend back. Once I run out of extension, I've hit a roadblock here. That big X on my bicep is now facing my torso. I'm gonna take that X and I'm gonna turn it towards the camera. So I'm moving into external rotation. From here, I'm sweeping up into overhead flexion. Once I'm in flexion, I'm going to begin to externally rotate and adduct once again as I come across the body. And I'm going to return back to the starting position. Now, that is a shoulder CAR, but not everybody can move through that full range of a shoulder CAR. So what I want you to do is understand a few things. Number one, if there's any pinchy sensations, I want you to avoid those. So let's say that you're here overhead flexion and you want to move into internal rotation. Oftentimes people have a little sticky pinchy sensation going into internal rotation because they don't have enough internal rotation. So let's just say here I begin my internal rotation and I feel like, I can't move through that without a little pinchy sensation, or I can't move through that without leaning my body away. What I want you to do is I want you to bring the arm down just a little bit and move around that space. So go through the space that you have available to you. With that, your CAR is not going to be the biggest, baddest, fullest circle that you can move. It's going to be a slightly deformed CAR. So it's going to be kind of like a Pac-Man where you've carved out a space to go through a certain space that you don't have control of or that you cannot move into. That's fine. We want to continue to do our CARs and move through the fullest range that we have available. With issues like internal rotation and external rotation limitations, we can do specific exercises that can address those like pails and rails for internal rotation and external rotation. Our CARs are just a way to give us awareness and give us an opportunity to experience the range that we can control, and we can use it as a self-assessment on a regular basis to understand what we have available to us. Not only that, moving through your fullest range available nourishes the tissues by pushing the synovial fluids in the joints around into those areas and into those tissues. If you do your shoulder CARs and you find limitations in internal rotation or you find limitations coming back through external rotation, those are things that you want to address with specific exercises and activities. If you're not sure where to start with those, seek out a qualified professional to help guide you through the process of gaining your shoulder mobility back. If you like this video, be sure to smash the like button, share it with somebody who needs it, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss a post from me again.